Get this stuff done.
I'll pick up them little pads and I'll pull forward.
That's cool. Man, look at all that. Woo, smell it. I hope so. I hope so. Man, look up in there. That's cool. Look at the heat off that. Check this out. Woo, yeah, that's hot. Look at that. Blowing off there. That's some good stuff there. Look at it. That's hot. Oh, yeah. We got some good stuff. Good stuff. Well, y'all, glad you could join us yesterday. Yesterday it was 70-some degrees out here. I was in shorts this morning, and today, this evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it, we're out here bundled up like it's wintertime again or something. I don't know. Crazy weather. Heard tell yesterday on Ryan Hall, y'all. He said that from the 18th of this month, March, from the 18th of March till April the 8th, it's going to feel like it should have been in January and February. Real cold, real cold. So y'all keep that in mind because it's going to take all the way down into the top parts of North Carolina and out that it's going to be that cold, okay? You know, check that video out. Go check out Ryan Hall, y'all, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And I believe it's important that you, as a gardener, giant grower, whatever, watches that weather because it's important that you know the patterns, that you know what's coming or what ain't coming. So we're going to have to prepare. We had some ideas. We thought we were in the clear, and we thought we were going to start shooting off like a rocket. Looks like Mother Nature's going to throw a wrench in it. That's all right. We've always got a plan. And here's what the plan is. Wood chips. You say, well, Ryan, what's the wood chips going to do for cold weather? Well, listen to me well. I can keep that ground hot. I can do pretty well. Y'all see the video clips from this morning. I had heat coming off of this pile, and it had only been sitting for a day. They filled that truck up yesterday that was here, and come and brought it this morning, and there was already smoke coming off of that thing from how much heat was being generated from inside that pile. Guys, if you can take this, rake back that soil off your stuff, and put this down in there, you'll start getting heat in the soil. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you. It's going to take a couple day process. We're going to do this video today, but I'll show you throughout the week how that heat is generated in that soil. I'm going to show you with a heat gun, and you're going to see temps, you know, and what they are versus what they are later on. So we're going to have all that for you. But you can put this in the ground, rake back that soil like in these beds and stuff. Now I know you can't do it in your patch, of course, and it'd be too much. You rake back these small patches, these raised beds and things, and you'd be able to keep that heat up. You'd be able to grow in there. And these, like I said, these small little areas, flower beds and stuff that I got, I can rake those beds back, put this wood chips down heavy, cover it back up with the soil on top of it, and that right there will start decomposing. It'll keep it warm under there. All right, keep those roots warm. And you say, well, what about the rest of the plant that's sticking up? Well, a lot of these crops can handle cool weather. Okay, so as long as you got good hot soil working underneath there, composting underneath there, okay, it'll keep the temperature around that warmer, okay? And like I said, most of these crops we were going to plant now are cool season crops. So it won't really affect them any because they can handle frost, okay? So we're going to actually have it perfect conditions for them. You know, we'll be able to keep them warm on the roots and all that, and keep the ambient temperature around them warmer than what the rest of the temperature is because of the decomposition going on underneath them, and they'll be all right. They'll be just fine. You've seen that a lot happen last year in this raised bed up here along the fence when I put in all that goat manure and then put compost on top of it. So, all right, guys, so stay tuned. Right here in the hollers and hills of West Virginia, we're going to show you some tricks, some secrets of how you can help get this composted and use it all over your property for the benefit of your farm, your homestead, or your small garden. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So, like I was saying, we're going to use this and we're going to show you guys a bunch of different ways that we're going to utilize this stuff. You know, you say, well, I don't really want wood chips. I just want the finished product. Guys, let me just tell you this. So, last year I spent, I think it was $300 or maybe a little more than 300 on 2 big loads of compost, or maybe it was 3. Might have been 3 loads of compost. I can't remember. Anyhow, put them right there where the side by side was, and used it all up. And you can't tell I used any of it. That was 3 big truckloads, guys. This stuff right here, it might take a little while to decompose, but it won't take nearly as long as what you're thinking because it's already been chipped up. It's already decomposing as we speak from the heat and everything that's being generated in it. Now, I want you to think about all the different things we can do with this. These shavings, you can smell the pine in it. Here, take a smell. Smell it. You smell that? Take a smell. Come on now. You can smell it. I know you can smell it. So anyhow, I know that you smelt it now. So you can smell that pine coming off of there. All right, you can use this stuff for pine shavings for your animals, deep bedding for the animals. And just because it's not wintertime don't mean you don't need deep bedding still. Deep bedding can occur all season long. Okay, it just depends on where you put it at. Do you want it inside your coop? Maybe not inside the coop as much. You don't want all that heat. But you can deep bed it all out here and let them scratch through it all day. If I put that right there inside of there, what they'll do, I'm going to show you what they're going to do. They're going to start turning it. They're going to start mixing it and throwing it over. And they're going to make compost out of it. Guarantee it. You got your pigs down there. Pigs will lay in it. Pigs will burrow up in it and lay in it. We're going to give it to them. They'll take it out. They'll poop all over it, rooting in it, all kinds of mess. But they'll turn it into compost quicker than what it would just sitting here, okay? And then you got the tried and true method. You throw it in your worm bin or whatever and compost it in the bins. Or you can put it in the raised beds like I'm going to show you. Or even, even just your regular little beds that we've got going on up here. You can cover them up in there. And your flower beds and stuff where I don't grow flowers, I grow food. But you can use it anywhere, okay? And then you can just leave it there and let it do its own thing, all right? That's totally up to you. Here's the other part about this. If you really want to go to a back to Eden style of gardening and growing, the best thing to do would be to get you some wood chips like this right here and just start spreading it all over the yard. All over the yard. About 5 to 6 inches thick, all right? And well, actually, technically, that's what you want at finished product, about 5 to 6 inches thick. So you'd probably need to lay it about 12 inches thick. Lay a 12-inch thick bed all over the yard or wherever you want to do your back to back to Eden gardening or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so you would simply take it and just lay it out in a place where you want it. I might start going up here where these rocks are up here and start just laying it up there where these rocks are and covering up that area, with this stuff and leaving the rocks there alone and not messing with them and just let that stuff have it. And once it's finished product and stuff, I'll start planting in it next year, right? All along that right there. Never having to have tilled one thing, never having to have removed one of those big rocks. So there's tons of benefits to it, guys. It's all depending on what you want to do. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to start tossing some of this to the chickens right now, putting it both in their beds and in their coop. All right, or not in their beds, excuse me, in their coop and in their pen, their run. And yeah, we're gonna do that, and then we'll go on to the next one. So stick around. All right, guys, so you've seen a little bit of what we were doing from the drone. And I'll take you over and show you in a little bit exactly what we had done. Right now we're going to work on this tomato patch right quick. So y'all know that this is where we plant our tomatoes, and all we're going to do is we're going to dump this right here and then spread it out and see how much coverage we get, and then we'll till it all in. Another wheelbarrow load, I think will do it. You don't want to get too much of it in there, okay? You don't want to be too heavy in organic matter. Looks pretty good to me. Rake it all up the hill here. Of course, you're going to have some of it that's going to stay up there, you know, on the surface of it, but I might come back out here in a week or so and do something about that. a week or two and scratch it back or till it back around, kind of mix it up or whatever. We'll see. We'll see. But it looks good. Looks good so far. All right. I'm going to be spraying that stuff on here like I said I would. Was the liquid compost from Previgenics. I'm going to spray it on here. I'll spray it pretty heavily. And like I say, we're going to build us a wall right along through there this year. Keep it up there a little bit better, because last year it tended to run off there some. I don't really like it none. Running away from where I wanted it. So we'll do what we got to do to make sure it stays put where we want it. But I think this is going to be cat's meow right here. That's 2 wheelbarrow loads incorporated in that soil. Y'all seen me do it. You see me put 2 wheelbarrow loads in here, and you see me run a tiller through it. Now, ask yourself this question. What do you think it's going to do in that soil over the next few months' time? I don't plant out here till probably, this right here probably will not get a plant in it until June. I'd say June 1st through the 15th, this right here will start getting tomato plants put in it. And so, you know, it's going to sit here until then. I'm going to go over here to this next patch over here. I'm going to rake that soil back, show you what I'm talking about. We're going to rake it completely back and dump 1 or 2 wheelbarrow loads in there. And then we're going to take and cover it all back up. So let me take you over here and show you what we're going to do. Okay, guys, the reason why I hadn't planted in here yet, and I've been dying to plant in here. I've been chomping at the bit to plant seeds and stuff in here, but the reason why I hadn't yet is because of this very thing we're getting ready to do. So I'm going to take this dirt, and I'm just going to, I've been building up the soil. You can see this stuff here. You know, there's grass clipping. Look at all that grass clipping and stuff. It's already, you know, decomposing in there, all right? All I'm going to do is I'm just going to rake all this back. And the reason why I'm raking it back is because there's just not enough dirt in here to do much yet, right? I think we put like 5 to 7 wheelbarrow loads of compost in here last year, and you could see didn't do too much, did it? Yeah. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna get down there to that soil barrier we have. We got a thing of garden fabric. We're just gonna rake this back till we get to the garden fabric, and then we're gonna stop there. Some places don't even have garden fabric left anymore. Let me see here. There's stuff popping up too. I got stuff trying to grow through this already. So we already got seeds trying to grow in this stuff here. We're just gonna rake all this back here. There's the garden fabric right there. I was gonna say. And you can see that right there was mulch last year. You can see this right here is all we're gonna do. We're just taking it, loosening it up. It's like so. It looks like my garden fabric's finally getting ate off there, which is okay. It's no big deal. But just keep on raking it like this till I uncover enough where I know that I'm down there at the bottom, because I don't really want to put any wood chips on top of dirt. I need every bit of the dirt I can get to cover the wood chips up here. And see, just going to rake them beds just like so. Get down there close to the fabricing spots. The fabric's wanting to pull up anyhow. Just like that right there. And then we'll come and bring a load of wood chips up here. And we'll dump those wood chips on it. And then we will cover it up with dirt. It needs as much soil as possible there because we grow a lot of food there, y'all. We grew, I don't even know how many pounds of Swiss chard there last year. And I mean pounds, y'all. I mean, them plants produced from mid-April until November or December. No, it was December, whenever that real bad frost come through and finally killed them all off. But yeah, it was produced all the way from April all through summer, all the way into winter. So from spring to winter. And you can do that with Swiss chard, y'all. All you gotta do is plant your Swiss chard in a spot that's going to get early sun, you know, up till about 12 o'clock. And then after 12, it starts cooling off. All right. And you can grow some of your biggest and best Swiss chard you ever seen. You couldn't even hope to buy that kind of Swiss chard, y'all. Here we go. I'm going to dump that out and spread it and see what we get with that. Don't want to be overly heavy. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. That'll do just fine. Yep. All right. We got that right there. Let's see here. You don't want to scoop it out, huh? And this should keep some of the bugs out of here, I would think. Some of the bad bugs. Not the good stuff, but the bad ones. Because I think I smell cedar in that. I think. Either that or it's just a whole lot of pine. And I've not been able to smell really very good since I had COVID. So who knows what that smell is that I'm smelling. Hard to say, hard to say. And this right here will help level this bed out, because that's the overall thing that we're wanting to do here, is level this bed out. You can't tear up my fennel there. Got to watch that. I want to be aware of the fennel. And then what we'll do is we'll rake all this dirt on top of it here, level it all out, and then we'll rake this dirt this way off of it up there, and then that'll help me to yeah, see there, it's gonna cover it, and it's like so. Look at that, how much it lifted that bed up. Right. All right, guys, so I hope you're taking all this in and learning it, because I'm telling you, it really is one of the best ways to do this, guys. I've watched these guys down in Florida and stuff for the past 3 years now, since 2020. And guys, I'm telling you, I've been amazed at what they've been able to accomplish. Man, that's a big old Swiss chard root there. Like I say, I've been amazed at what they've been able to accomplish by doing this method of composting or gardening, whatever you want to call it. There ain't much up here, so you really got to watch. because there's not much up here at all. The majority of this has washed down to the bottom there, sadly. So we're going to have to be real careful how we go about getting it up out of here. Look at all them roots and stuff in there. Goodness. Man, y'all ain't kidding. That's some tough stuff. Whew. I ain't kidding y'all. That's a tough stuff there to do. Raking that back. Hopefully, after this time, we don't have to rake it back no more. We'll just start adding to it. That's the hope. That is the hope. Just add to it. Not have to do that every year. That's really quite tiresome. Having to dig that up, move it, rake it back, and all right. Second wheelbarrow full. Let's rake her down here. All right, guys, that raised it up quite a bit. Take you around. We're going to end this video here in just a second. We're going to take you around though and show you exactly what everything is. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so you can see here, we got those wood chips. Those are just the ones that accidentally got back to the top. Majority of this is covered by, 3 to 4 inches worth of soil. And you say, well, how did you get all that soil? That bed looked flat and dead. So if you were to scrape this pile right here, and I left this one right here like this so you guys could see. So this little sliver right here, it's kind of like in a half moon shape there. Um, if I was to remove that strawberry plant and remove those little bushes that I'm trying to figure out what they are, they're right here growing. This one, and there's another one in there somewhere. Maybe that one there. Anyways, if I was to remove these strawberries, there's the other one right there, and was to loosen this soil up right here, it's compacted. But if I was to remove the strawberries and those little whatever them things are, carrots or whatever I think they are, we might get something pretty. We would probably get um, about 3 to 4 inches of soil back on the top of right there. And all I did was just, it was compacted soil. The soil had compacted down, right? And so all I did was lifted it up, all right? Well, you seen what I done. I raked it and lifted it up, right? And then I simply poured the wood chips on there and then covered it up with that dirt. Okay, so that's how you do these these beds like this. Um, if you wanted to do raised beds, you could. You would have to dig out the dirt and either put it in a wheelbarrow, put it in a bucket or something, or just off to the side if that's what you want to do. You just put it off to the side of the raised bed. But you would then fill it up with wood chips and then put your dirt back on top. Now that gets a little much, so I don't really encourage anybody doing that because that's a lot of work. But you can do that, and it would work just fine. Up here, you guys seen what I done. I just added it to it. All right, I just took it, put it on top, tilted it in. It's another way you guys can use this stuff, and it works really good. And you guys can see out of 2 wheelbarrow loads, look how well that's incorporated in there. It just looks like a few wood chips here and there. Doesn't look like much. So you could even do that to your patches if you so choose. I would be very cautious though. You don't want to get real high in your organic matter. Okay, you can be, and some people have good success with it like that. But I think it depends on the type of organic matter it is, not necessarily the fact that it is organic matter, just what it is. And I don't know that wood chips are good for that. Now, what I didn't get to show you guys, and I was recording, I thought, but it wasn't recorded over here. Okay. Now, what I've done right here, and I probably will end up putting side shoots on this, okay, so that they can't scratch it all the way out. But from now on, what will happen is all the birds will get fed in that pile right there, okay. Now, I got this idea from Permaculture Pastures, all right, Billy over at Permaculture Pastures. You guys can check his stuff out. He has what he calls the chicken tractor on steroids, and all he's doing is he's taking his chickens. He's moving his chickens, and then he is putting up these barriers like this. He's filling those barriers up with this kind of stuff that he's wanting to be composted, and then he just feeds in there. And the chickens turn it over, they poop on it, they eat, they scratch and all that. They're turning it, and it turns into compost. And then he takes a wheelbarrow or whatever. He goes over, he takes the sides off of it, and then he scoops it up in a wheelbarrow, and boom, there you go. He takes and puts his compost wherever he wants to then, right? He also puts it in a compost pile if he wants to do that. It just helps break it down quicker. And so that's essentially what we're doing here. I will put sides to it, though. I won't do that today. I'm a little pressed for time. We got to go do this show at 8 o'clock, so I need to get inside and get prepared for that. But in the upcoming days, what we'll do is we'll put sides on this. We'll feed them here. That way they can't scratch it out, right? They'll have to keep it within its confines, right? And what's going on there? And anyhow, they'll scratch it, they'll till it, and they'll make compost out of it for us. And we're very, very happy about that. The next thing that we're going to do is we'll take some of this, we'll put it down there for the goat bedding and for the pig bedding and stuff. And we'll do that at a later date, tomorrow probably, because I just don't have time to do it right now. So, guys, I hope you guys have learned something from today. I hope you guys have learned something about getting free compost material, the ways that you can turn it into compost faster. I mean, you can do it the old ways and just leave it set and turn it every so often. That's fine, perfectly fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you need it quicker, you want it faster, you want to utilize it a little faster, those are some ways that you can do it, and I highly recommend you doing it. We're also going to use some of that to fill up one of our raised beds that we're going to be putting together from Epic Gardening. We got those raised beds, and we're going to put them together hopefully soon. Hopefully this rain and stuff will stay away. We get 1 or 2 pretty days, and it's just enough to get caught up on some things, and then back to rain and cold it goes. So it's been miserable this winter, just absolutely miserable. But anyhow, hopefully we'll be able to do something very, very soon with those raised beds. We'll use the wood chips to fill up half of that bed, and then we're going to use goat bedding from Alan, our neighbor, to fill up the rest of the bedding. So going to be interesting times. Messing with raised beds and growing in them and seeing the differences in them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching today. I hope you guys will tune in for the next one. And if you're not subscribed, do us a great big old favor. We'd love to have you over here at the channel. We do lots of things. And it's getting ready to really gear up to where you guys are going to have a lot of good footage every single day. And we can't wait to start giving that to you. It's been a miserable winter, but we're almost out of it. And in comes spring, and we're going to be running, and I do mean running, wild whenever it gets here, guys. So stay tuned for that. Guys, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow right here in the hollers and hills of West Virginia.
Don't forget to smash that like button, that notification bell.
Good job. Here you go. Thank you. Don't forget to share. Yep. There you go. Good job. And subscribe.